Messed up.
Oh, we've been showing a lot of beautiful people this week. Why not a beautiful dog? That is just such a cute little guy. Part of the action here. Better hold on to those tennis balls, though, when he's around. And right now, joined by Murphy Jensen along with Luke, the better looking of the Jensen brothers by far. Murphy, it is so good to see you, man, because last time we talked to you, Luke and I were in Bristol, Connecticut, pretending to be in Australia.
Yes.
You were at home. You had just come off that horrible medical episode where you had the cardiac arrest. You were in a self-induced coma, brought out of it. You had surgery. How are you now? Because you look fantastic.
Sam and Luke, it's to be at the U.S. Open, I have to pinch myself to, is this really happening? I just mentioned that to you. I've never been better. You know, coming out of the grounds last night for the Serena match, Stan Smith, who isn't a shoe, he's a human being, gave me a big hug, and he goes, "What's that in your body?" And I said, "That's a defibrillator." And, you know, I've had the best summer of my life, the best year of my life, and the love that I got from the game of tennis. I get to say thank you to you and my beautiful brother for being there when I went down, and my heart stopped for 18 minutes. And, you know, I'm working with the American Heart Association now, and my heart cells are being grown at the Stanford lab.
Wow.
To find out what caused my cardiac arrest. And the hope is to work with the USTA to ensure that tennis courts always have an AED close by. And the Gooter Jensen, we played the Bryan brothers. Luke and I beat up on the Bryan brothers.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did.
You have the microphone now. You can say anything you want.
At the Gooter Foundation, and now it's been named the Gooter Jensen Foundation, and we're taking this nationally throughout the game of tennis.
Well, stretching back before the medical episode you had, it's now National Recovery Month.
Yeah.
Explain to people why that's a big deal to you.
Well, I'm Murphy, and I'm in long-term recovery from substance use disorder and mental health challenges. And my company that I co-founded 8 years ago launched Access for All, a free version of the app, which has 8 support group meetings a day for anybody and everybody. National Recovery Month is an observance of mental health and substance use disorder is available and for anybody and everybody. And I'm living proof that those challenges are treatable and preventable. And my company, you know, it's just rarefied air that my inner purpose matches my outer purpose, which is, at the end of the day, to help others.
Talk about the millions you have really used. Like at Recovery Month, look at that picture of you, Murph.
Come on. Well, the latest and greatest is that we're working with organizations and employers, and that every company and every organization, whether it's a university, whether it's a major company, we started in Michigan working with benefits brokers, that it's a benefit, it's an add-on. I shouldn't be afraid to ask for help. I shouldn't be, you know, what I learned in my own recovery journey is that I was only as sick as my secrets, and I got to a point where I was so sick and tired. If the ATP and the WTA had services like WEconnect available to me, it would have prevented a ton of unnecessary suffering for my family, for the tour, for myself, and you know, to be here and alive with at the U.S. Open today, you know, without a drink or a drug or anxiety or depression or that fear that I'm enough or measure up is a really big deal to me. And every day I wake up with real easy. My primary purpose is to stay sober and help others. And I get to do that through my work at WEconnect Health Management.
How do you help individuals that are in the weeds?
Well, through our mobile application, we've got peer recovery support specialists that are nationally and state certified. You've got 8 support group meetings a day, which over 360,000 people from 30 countries have attended these meetings. But the key for those employers is anonymously and confidentially, I can get help and be in a place where it's okay to not be okay. And at the end of the day, if I work for a company that has this service, my company is sharing to you that I care about you and your family.
I want to talk to you about this documentary that you have coming out, but before we get talk about it, let's show the trailer. It's called Born to Serve, and you're definitely not going to want to miss this.
Tennis is an individual sport. You have no help out there. It's like 2 warriors out there fighting for their life.
Everything a tennis player learns from the minute they start competing is an obliteration of connection and community. Tennis needed the Jensen Brothers because tennis itself is an inherently lonely sport.
Luke for 1, for 2, and Luke and Murphy Jensen are the French Open champions.
The one thing when you win a major, no one for the rest of your life or the rest of time can ever say you're not good enough.
My thinker and what's between my ears is a very dangerous neighborhood if I let it run wild.
I'm holding that trophy going, this is just the start of everything we've ever dreamed about. But on the other side of the trophy, he said, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking how much I sucked and how much I don't deserve it and that I shouldn't even be here.
In that moment, we're the best in the world, but on the inside, I was like nervous to what was to come. That I was not enough, I didn't measure up. And that was the chapter where I really wasn't prepared to live with.
He's holding the trophy and going through all this crap in his mind because he feels he's not worthy of the accomplishment. There's something broken inside. He's got to heal that.
There's no blueprint of once you get to the top of the mountain, you got to find your way down Everest. And there's no clear path to that.
So obviously some powerful stuff, Murphy. When people watch that documentary, what are you hoping they take away from it?
Well, I can't watch that without getting emotional. First off, I want people to take away from seeing our film Born to Serve the love of the Jensen family for this game of tennis and for one another, and my love for my brother and what he meant to me, and that what this was being created by Jeff Riley, an Emmy Award-winning director, and produced by Highwatch Media. And Highwatch is an organization that has served and helped millions of people. And the idea here is that, hopefully, that my story and our story, because tennis is involved with our family in such a big way, brings hope to the hopeless. That there is a way out, because there has been so much suffering since the pandemic. There's been so much suffering in the opioid epidemic. How do you move on from losing a loved one to an accidental overdose? How does one? So this film is to show that, in tennis they say love means nothing. And what I've learned from surviving my cardiac arrest, again, that love wins unquestionably, undeniably. Love is the secret sauce, in my opinion, that's going to save this planet. But this story has Chris Evert, Billie Jean, tennis royalty, sharing the story of the Jensen family, the Jensen Brothers, winning that French. But there's so much more going on here at this U.S. Open, at that French Open, than just forehands and backhands. Last night we saw it with Serena and her love for her sister and growing up on the courts of Compton. Come on, man. And now, and her best work lies in front of her. You know, I texted Andre Agassi on the way over today and just told him, Andre, I just want you to know I love you, and I'm going to see Luke in a few minutes, and I'm going to kick his butt on court 9 at 5 o'clock. And but that's the deal. And where I was 22 years ago, Sam, I was not on a winning streak. My son is turning 23 in a few days, and I was wanting to jump out of a window here at the U.S. Open. And instead of a hotel manager calling the police, he called an interventionist, and I got some help. And I've been getting that help and those services for the last 23 years. And I walk this earth a free person, and I want this whole world to walk this earth a free person.
Wow. Thank you so much, Murphy. Good brother here. It's always fun to work with him.
I love you, and I love you.
And again, it's called Born to Serve, the documentary coming out in 2023. It's definitely worth a watch, and we'll continue to cover the U.S. Open here in Flushing Meadows.